NTA Maiduguri Zonal Center. Today, we turn our attention to a major stride in urban development and infrastructural renewal in Borno State. We shall examine the bold strides being taken by the Borno State government to rebuild, renew, and reposition the state for growth. From road construction and flyovers to healthcare and educational facilities, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum's administration has embarked on an ambitious drive to reshape the physical and economic landscape of Borno. But what do these projects mean for the average resident? How sustainable are these efforts, and what lies ahead? We shall explore Borno State government's infrastructural boost and the road ahead, featuring another bold step in the state government's commitment to rebuilding and modernizing critical infrastructure in the aftermath of years of insurgency. Stay with us to know what these developments mean for the future of Borno State. I am Abubakar Musa. Thank you for joining us. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has renewed her call on all government agencies, private sector partners, and other critical stakeholders in the health sector to recommit to the fight against malaria with urgency and resolve. This is in her message marking the 2025 World Malaria Day, where she notes that malaria is not just a public health challenge for Nigeria, but a national emergency as the nation bears the heaviest global burden of the disease. Harping on the need to work hard in order to reverse this trend, the First Lady describes the theme for the celebration: Malaria Ends With Us, Reinvest, Reimagine, Reignite, as both a call to action and a message of hope. She highlights the need to renew investment in life-saving interventions, increased awareness, and to revive the collective commitment needed to end malaria once and for all. Malaria ends with us, with our voices, our choices, and our actions, she says, while calling on Nigerians to ensure that their environment and surroundings are clean and free of stagnant water, which serves as breeding ground for mosquitoes. Now, until and unless public health professionals actively carry out public health education to improve lives of individuals with particular attention to community will become a mirage. This is the position of research conducted and presented by a trained nurse and lecturer of public health, Professor Gloria Aneto, at the 33rd inaugural lecture of the National Open University of Nigeria. Speaking on achieving the One Health concept, a mirage without public health education, the Dawn with the Department of Public Health of the institution asserted that research revealed environmental as endemic in a developing country such as Nigeria, informing the need for those who have the knowledge to collaborate and prevent the society.
For One Health to achieve its goals, the community must be the starting point. The community is the workshop of the public health education professional. Therefore, it is a mirage for One Health if the public health professional, the owner of the workshop, does not set the pace or open the shop for people to work. All collaborations, prevention, promotion for health must start with the public health professional. Otherwise, achieving One Health is a mirage without public health.
She has proven two fallacies wrong. The first one is the notion that migration and public health are not the same.
The lecturer advocated that public health research must be strengthened in Nigeria, low and middle income countries, for them to take their rightful positions in the global map. IMF is calling for focused attention on urgent challenges facing Africa. At the IMF World Bank meeting in Washington, D.C., IMF Director Kristalina Georgieva emphasized the need for proactive support to African economies and mounting debt pressures and shifting global landscape. Lydia Sampson has more.
At Addressing journalists at the IMF World Bank Springs meeting in Washington, D.C., Georgieva outlined the IMF's global policy agenda, noting that while Africa's growth remains resilient, the continent faces significant headwinds, including downgraded growth projections and the risks of further economic shocks.
The direct impact of tariffs on most of Africa, not on all of Africa, but on most of Africa, is relatively small. But the indirect impact is quite significant. I would say, and actually they apply to Nigeria, they apply to Egypt, they apply to Ghana, they apply to Cote d'Ivoire. First, continue on a path of strengthening your fundamentals. There is still a lot that can be done on the fiscal side to have strength, as I was talking about ASEAN, to have the buffers for a moment of shock.
She stressed IMF's commitment to being more active in debt restructuring, responding to calls from African nations for enhanced technical assistance and fairer representation within global financial institutions. She is of the view that Africa's growth shows some resilience amidst various shocks, noting that the abrupt change in the global economic landscape has disrupted this growth trajectory. Georgieva warns that setbacks could reverse hard-won gains in inflation control and debt stabilization. The IMF chief also underscored the importance of integrating Africa's natural capital into economic planning, aligning with high-level events at the meetings, focused on valuing the continent's green wealth and accelerating development in a multipolar world. Georgieva's message was clear. Africa's future depends on bold reforms, increased investment, and global cooperation to secure inclusive and sustainable growth. The press briefing also focused on the fund's global policy agenda, which outlined the key challenges facing the global economy, emphasizing persistent uncertainty, uneven growth, and the need for resilient policy action. She called on member countries to finish the job of taming inflation and rebuilding fiscal buffers eroded by the recent economic and financial crisis. From Washington, D.C., Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
As we return.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, we turn dark into light, we make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Each ethnicity is unique, we have more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity, we know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
We're glad to have you back. It is no longer news that construction work has commenced at the post office roundabout in Maiduguri, an ambitious move by Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum aimed at easing traffic congestion and enhancing urban development as the city continues to experience population growth. Pauline Kujivana completes the story.
The post office area in Maiduguri serves as the heart of the city, bustling with social and economic activities and a central hub for motorists and pedestrians alike.
In continuation of our urban renewal program.
With its development marking the fourth flyover project initiated by the Zulum administration, there's no doubt that it will help ease traffic congestion and give the city a fresh and modern look, reflecting progress and growth. Governor Zulum, while flagging off the project, emphasized that the initiative is a strategic response to the growing number of residents and the increasing volume of vehicular movement within Maiduguri metropolis.
In order to accommodate the increasing population growth in Maiduguri, we must expand the city. We must build flyovers and bridges so that vehicular movement will be enhanced, thereby reducing traffic jam in the state.
However, amidst the positive outlook of urban renewal, the ongoing construction has posed serious challenges for petty traders operating around the post office roundabout. According to some of the traders, while they acknowledge the long-term benefit the flyover might bring, the immediate impact of their livelihood is worrisome.
The holdup is too much. So this expectation of the road, it can even allow some cars, some assist, and some people are passing through their vehicle. They have access to pass without any delay, without any hold up at that area.
In the face of these disruptions, the traders, some of whom have been asked to relocate, are calling on the government to provide temporary support or alternative trading spaces to help sustain their businesses during the construction period. However, they are hopeful that once completed, the flyover will increase human and vehicular traffic in the area, which could eventually boost their businesses. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
We are discussing the recent flagging off of two major infrastructural projects by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, the Tashankano Dual Carriageway and the Post Office flyover. And to discuss further on this is the Borno State Commissioner for Works and Housing, Mustafa Gubio. Sir, it's good to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, can you briefly explain what the Tashankano Dual Carriageway and Post Office flyover projects entail?
Thank you so much. When His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, MNI FNSC, came on board on 2019, he said due to the development plan, the 25-year development plan, and then the 10 years transformation agenda, which entails the development of Borno State generally after the menace of Boko Haram. And therefore, what we are doing now is part of the execution of the part of the development plan, which Borno State government is now building a new dual carriageway in Tashankano area, which is about 7.1 kilometers, which His Excellency just pulled out of last week, and then the flyover in Post Office. The Tashankano dual carriageway, which runs from the flyover of Tomfet, Terminus Tomfet to Amule area is about 7.1 kilometers, along which it has drainages, and then there are also other features like the street lights, the medians. The width of the road is about 6 meters, and we have bridge which is 6-span bridge, and it's about 100 meters bridge. And therefore, after the completion of this road, I'm very much sure it will expand the town and create more jobs for the teeming youth. And coming to the Post Office flyover is a very big engineering masterpiece, which, if completed, it is going to be a game changer because it is going to be the largest flyover in the state. So far, we have built 3 flyovers. This is the 4th one. It's going to be the 4th one. It's about 600 meters, inshallah. It has 9 span, and therefore, I'm very much sure after the completion of this project, more youth will get more jobs in the states.
All right. A significant percentage of small traders at the post office area are worried about losing their shops and businesses during construction. So what is the government doing to support them?
Yes, it is fact that during the execution of these projects, the movement of the traffic and the pedestrian will be reduced because of the machineries will be moving around, and then the movement of building materials from one floor to the others because of the fact that it is a very big location spot that we occupy for the project. As for the retailers, I'm sure that this project that we are going to construct does not touch any shops or business location, and therefore I think there is no cause for alarm.
Okay, Commissioner for Works and Housing, can we know the modalities put in place to make sure the construction, does not cause too much traffic along the axis?
Just we have done on other locations so far after during the construction of the recent flyover that we completed, that is the western flyover. This one also we are going to design a modality in such a way that the traffic flow will be controlled and then it will be diverted so that people will not be disturbed.
All right, big projects sometimes face delays. So how will you make sure these projects are finished within the time frame without compromising standards?
This project has the completion period of 8 months. So far, after the plugging of this project, His Excellency have given mobilization fee of 30% and then 20% progress payment. We have 50% payment now, and therefore there is no complaint that will come inshallah along the construction of this project. I'm sure as soon as this amount is exhausted, more payment will be given to them, so the project will not be delayed and completed without the time frame given to them.
All right, we also like to know, how do these projects fit into the overall plans of Governor Zulum's government to develop Maiduguri?
His Excellency, as I told you, he has 25 years development plan for the development of the state entirely as post-insurgency recovery effort. These projects that we have done so far, I think they are one of them. And after the flood, he now declared state of emergency in the area of road construction and bridges and flyover, so that the state will be developed. It will look more beautiful and create more jobs for the teeming youth. As you can see, we have other projects apart from this across the state, not only the flyovers and the roads within the towns. We have other projects in all local governments that are going on now.
Should we expect more monumental projects like this? And what is your advice to residents on maintaining public infrastructure such as this one we're talking about?
I told you last time that these projects are cost effective. So as soon as the financial situation improves, I'm sure His Excellency will not hesitate to execute more projects within the state. And for general public, I appeal to them so that they will be patient, so that this project will be executed within the time frame given to the contractors, so that people can make use of them.
Okay, Commissioner for Works and Housing, will you say the governor has flagged off the construction of the fourth flyover in Maiduguri? Will you say you're satisfied with what has been done so far?
Yes, we in the Ministry of Works we are very much satisfied with the progress so far after the flag off. As told you, 30% payment has been given to them, and then 20% progress payment, which was set aside for them to be given as soon as they finish the 30%. Therefore, we in the Ministry of Works will try to see that we supervise this project to logical conclusion and make sure that the contractor adhere to the terms and specification of the contract.
Okay, construction of flyover is apparently laborious or cumbersome, so to say. So what is it that the Ministry of Works and Housing, and other partners in the construction will never compromise?
We, the Ministry of Works, have our engineers on site. We have the resident engineer on site, and then we have the consultant who are the sole supervisors of this project. I'm very much sure there will be no compromise as far as the quality of this project are concerned. I will make sure that quality project is being delivered to the general public, inshallah. Okay,
Commissioner, what is it that you want to, shed more light on, or is there anything you've missed out in the course of this discussion and you feel you want
to appeal to the general public, as I told you last time, that these projects are cost effective and they need to be maintained. This maintenance also means that it's not only government alone that will maintain the projects. We appeal to the public to let them know that these projects belong to them, the roads and the drainages and also the flyovers, so that they will maintain them for them to make use of them.
Okay, can you tell us some of the development, projects that you intend to embark on in the nearest future?
Yes, state government is constructing a lot of roads across the state. Apart from the Maiduguri development plan and that of Jere, we have other local governments, state governments trying to open up, trying to modernize them. We have at least 3 local governments in each territorial district of the state. State government is trying to modernize them. So in nearby future, we are going to know those local governments. But for now, we have many road projects. It's being executed through the BOMA and then the state government. Some are being contracted to contractors. Well, we are also trying to see roads network from town to town are being renewed or reconstructed so that people can move freely from one local government to the other. just like we have constructed the road between Dombua, Chibok, and Askira. Just last week that we supervised the road, it has been completed. We went to supervision, we have seen, we were satisfied with the level of completion of the road, and then the quality is good. So just like when we came on board, His Excellency constructed the Maiduguri-Bama road, which is now fully on use. Therefore, we are also trying to see that road from Maiduguri to Ngala is being constructed. Maiduguri, Mongono, Maiduguri, Dombua. Our Excellency is trying to see that free movement of vehicular movements from one local government to the other, movement of goods and services is being enhanced.
Okay, let me bring us back to the issue of the fourth flyover being constructed in Maiduguri. Borno State government has announced that it has made 50% payment. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, 50% in the sense that we have paid 30% mobilization fee, which they have already received, and they have seen into action. They have done all the soil tests. They have started casting their own the BIPs, and then the files are in progress. 20% is progress payment, which will be given to them in due course. Therefore, after the exhaustion of this 30%, so 50% government has already paid 50% for them. 20% in our custody, 30% already given to the contractors.
All right, at this point, we would like to say a very big thank you to the Borno State Commissioner for Works and Housing, Mustafa Gubio, for being part of Panorama today.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you so much, and do have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much.
Let's move on. Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has officially flagged off the second phase of empowerment program initiated by the senator representing Borno Central, Senator Kakashiu Lawan. The ceremony took place at the Government House, Maiduguri, from where Murjana Hassan reports.
A total of 3,092 of constituents across the 8 local government areas that make up Borno Central Senatorial District, 2,592 beneficiaries who received various empowerment items such as high-jet mini trucks, bicycles, deep freezers, sewing and grinding machines, solar-powered and mechanical water pumps, fertilizer, rice harvesters, and other agricultural tools, while 500 will receive direct cash support of 100,000 each. Governor Zulum commended Senator Kakashiu Lawan for his initiative and commitment to grassroots development and the welfare of his constituents, noting that this was not the first intervention, and praised his sustained efforts towards strengthening one progressive Congress APC in the state. Highlighting the senator's legislative achievements, Governor Zulum pointed out that within just 2 years in the Senate, Senator Lawan has sponsored significant bills, including those for the establishment of the Federal University of Entrepreneurship and Agriculture in Bama and the Federal Medical Center in Borno. He described these contributions as unprecedented in the history of the state and assured the senator of the government's continuous support. Senator Kakashiu Lawan announced that each recipient of the empowerment items would also receive additional 20,000 naira in cash, and also disclosed the donation of 450 school bags for distribution to public schools across the senatorial district. The senator thanked Governor Zulum for his visionary leadership and the successful implementation of numerous developmental projects across Borno State. He encouraged beneficiaries to make productive use of the items and pledged to sustain the empowerment program in subsequent phases. APC stakeholders, including the Deputy National Chairman Note, Ali Bukal Dalori, member representing Maiduguri Federal Constituency, Abdul Qadir Rais, and the Borno State APC Chairman, Bello Ayuba, praised the initiative, describing it as a lifeline intervention amidst state post-conflict recovery and reconstruction efforts in Maiduguri. Mujana Hassan, NTA News.
Now time for sports update, and here is Gift George with that.